Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our top 15 series, we've got something special lined up for you today. I know so many of you have been asking for a customer reviews analysis for this one. Well, we're finally doing it. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Opening things up, our first reviewer gives us their take.
This reviewer has been using this monitor for over a month and has a solid grasp of its good and bad points. The experience has been largely positive, though not without some notable frustrations. Our reviewer was particularly impressed with the user-friendliness of the on-screen menu, finding it incredibly easy to access and navigate. Another standout feature for this client was the built-in blue light filter, which they felt was a significant improvement over the somewhat clunky software-based alternatives. The inclusion of both modern HDMI and DisplayPort compatibility was also a clear plus, offering welcome flexibility for connecting different devices. However, the primary drawbacks seemed to be related to the display's visual performance. This user experienced a fair amount of backlight bleed, where the lighting appears uneven across the screen, an issue they described as being somewhat painful on the eyes, especially in darker scenes. Furthermore, when using an HDMI connection, they noticed occasional screen flickering and horizontal tearing. While not constant, it was a definite imperfection, though they concede it might be a defect specific to their unit. On the physical side, the monitor is a mixed bag. It is undeniably heavy, but this weight is counterbalanced by an exceptionally sturdy stand. A strange quirk our reviewer discovered, however, is that the stand can improperly detach if you lift the unit from its base rather than from the monitor itself. Another minor annoyance is the external power brick, which can complicate clean cable management. Ultimately, this client feels that if the monitor were to break, they would be about 75% likely to purchase the same one again, with the remaining 25% of them considering a smaller alternative for work.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer enthusiastically recommends this particular monitor, noting it was a purchase they were thrilled with. Our reviewer admits to being unfamiliar with the company behind the product, having initially focused on more traditional brands. After stumbling upon this display and reading positive feedback on a similar, smaller model, they decided to take a chance on this larger version, a decision they did not regret. The primary use for this monitor was gaming, and in that regard it exceeded expectations. According to our reviewer, games simply come alive on this screen, with visuals that truly pop. The image is so crisp that they notice fine details in their favorite titles for the very first time, something their previous display had never revealed. The visual upgrade was apparently so significant that certain games were described as looking absolutely amazing. Another standout feature for this client was the curved screen. While finding it hard to describe precisely, they found it created a more cozy and immersive gaming atmosphere that just felt better. Although they couldn't comment on its performance for watching movies or productivity tasks, the positive gaming experience led them to believe it would likely excel in those areas as well. Setting up the display was straightforward, but our reviewer offers a helpful tip. Users should dive into the settings menu to make a few minor adjustments. Enabling features like the high refresh rate, HDR, and FreeSync is essential to unlock the monitor's full potential. In the end, this client found that the display performs on par with much more expensive options from big-name brands, making it a product they highly recommend to others.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer recently upgraded their gaming setup and felt the need to share their thoughts on this new monitor. Previously using a full HD display, they quickly realized it wasn't cutting it for their new desktop, especially on a larger screen size. Accustomed to the crisp visuals of laptops, they decided to make the jump to a 1440p display. Our reviewer confessed to spending a considerable amount of time researching the perfect monitor. The goal was to find something affordable, slightly curved, with a high refresh rate, and most importantly, reliable. This client settled on a VA panel, appreciating its less common glossy finish compared to many matte gaming displays. The monitor's design is described as basic, but in a positive way, fitting seamlessly into their overall aesthetic. The setup process was refreshingly straightforward, going off without a hitch. Ultimately, this display delivered on its promise of providing a visually appealing and performant gaming experience. The reviewer stated that they are largely satisfied, with only a minor quibble. They wish the screen stretched a bit further to the edges, minimizing the black bars surrounding the active display area. Despite this small detail, it seems this display has met their needs and expectations.
Appreciate you watching. If this video helped, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. See you soon.